Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Galactic Report. Today is Friday, 25th of April, 2025. And I'll have a look at some news that came up last week and also galactic alignment that is going to happen tomorrow. But I'll start with the most important news, I think, for this week, which is the Pope's death on Monday, Easter Monday, April 21st, 2025. He passed in the morning at 7:35 a.m. in Rome. I have his birth chart with the transit at the moment of his death, as it was published to us. Here in the middle, in the center, you will find his birth chart, and on the periphery, you see the planets aligned at the moment of his death in Rome. And I could talk about this chart for a long time, but I will concentrate on two aspects here, and they might highlight a bit about Pope Francis' mission here on Earth. The first alignment I want to concentrate on is, you can find here, Pluto and Moon conjunct Midheaven. And they are conjunct fixed star Altair in the constellation of the Eagle, Aquila, and Pluto-Moon conjunctions are not a very positive aspect, I have to say. And especially now that they are conjunct Midheaven, we could interpret it as Pope Francis has fulfilled his mission here on Earth. The MC talks about our vocation, about our profession, our success also, and how we want to be in service for the collective. However, we want to interpret success, that is up to every one of us individually. In this case, it is about Pope Francis really being there for Rome, because Altair and the eagle is a symbol that is connected to ancient Rome with this very symbolical bird that is depicted in Roman mythology all along. And on the other side of the wheel here, we have another alignment, Uranus and the Ascendant conjunct. This means a lot of upheaval and chaos around his personality, how he came into the world, how he was, well, the moment of his birth, obviously, but also about his persona, how he wanted to be seen and how he presented himself to the world. And Uranus at the Ascendant is always a very detrimental alignment, especially with Uranus still conjunct Algol in the constellation of Perseus, where we talk about the myth of Medusa. I have made, as you know, a video about this. Algol in ancient astrology was always depicted and described as the fixed star that quite literally costs you your head. And this, although I do not follow this very, I do not want to say one-dimensional, but more monothematical approach. In this case, it is literally quite so. Rome and the Catholic Church have lost their head. The Pope and the Bishop of Rome, the Pope of the Catholic Church and the Bishop of Rome. So Pope Francis fulfilled his mission, and if you find other interesting aspects in this chart, maybe you take a screenshot and you study it further if you like to, and if you find something more interesting, please let us know in the comments. I would love to have a discussion around it. As I said, we could talk about this a very long time, but I would like to move on to some other subjects that I have prepared for you. The other astrological alignment we are going to experience tomorrow is the Pluto-Mars opposition, and I will show you how this will look like in our collective chart. Pluto, the planet of transformation, of deep transformation, of death and rebirth, is opposing Mars. Mars, the fiery planet of conflict, of assertion of our life force expressed through conflict. And they are opposing each other on the ascendant line, ascendant-descendant line. Again, Pluto is conjunct Altair, the fixed star in the Eagle constellation. And with Pluto-Mars opposition, we are going to be faced with a lot of upheaval and a lot of transformational power around how we assert ourselves in conflict. Because Pluto's energy fuels our emotional depths, and with this subconscious behavior and the transformational power it holds, it is opposing Mars, the assertive and action-oriented planet, which makes us so passionately expressive. And both are rulers of Scorpio, which is the sign through which we perceive our unconscious behavior. So we might be witnessing drama and struggles in our personal life, but also major geopolitical power struggles in the collective. So if repressed anger and emotions come to the surface, I would like to ask you to not act on them. Don't take reactions personally from others, and be mindful to not put yourself in risky situations also, and let yourself release and process through anger, frustrations, and intense feelings through creativity, through meditation, through being in nature. On a mythological level, we could talk about Mars, the ruler of war, and Pluto, the ruler of the underworld, having a conflict here, or a conflict situation. And Aquila, the eagle, is represented by Zeus, the ruler of the heavens. And he's not only the god of thunder and lightning, but also a god of justice and of the divine plan. So in this Mars-Pluto opposition, we could see Zeus as the father of all gods, who sends the divine lightning to bring Mars and Pluto influence into balance. Zeus asks from us that in the middle of the fight or the conflict, Mars and transformation, Pluto, we should look at the bigger picture, which is guiding our actions and our deepest transformations. And with Zeus, we are able to go through this process, guided by a higher wisdom and vision also. So this is going to happen tomorrow. We are already under the influence of that alignment. And as I said, it is good to communicate well in these days and keep our wits around us. Regarding successful communication, AI is trying to talk to dolphins. A new AI model was produced by computer scientists in collaboration with dolphin researchers, and this could open the door to two-way animal communication. Google is involved with this, and not surprisingly, they have teamed up with marine biologists and AI researchers to build a large language model designed to chat with dolphins. The model is called Dolphin AI, and it's an LLM, a large language model, a type of artificial intelligence that can understand and generate texts in human language. We already have this in our mobile phones and on our computers, where we can translate languages in no time. This LLM is trained to recognize, predict, and eventually generate dolphin vocalizations in an effort to not only understand the code on how the dolphins communicate with each other, but also how we might be able to communicate with them ourselves. Google plans to release this Dolphin Gemma LLM as an open model this summer, so researchers and scientists can experiment with it. For me, it's really interesting to see how AI that occurred or was introduced to us only 2 years ago is already moving towards new adventures. Now it's about animal communication. And for me, it is also a sign that scientists emulate what we can and could do all along. Direct, intuitive communication with animals, with plants, with the earth herself. And I ask myself, why would we want to use AI as an interpreter? Why don't we trust our intuition, our telepathic senses, our capability to tap into the consciousness of other beings? This is really what we should aim at, and not use AI as a tool to distract us from our natural abilities at all. So let's go on to the next curiosity at the fun fair of groundbreaking scientific achievements. Scientists claim to have discovered a new color no one has seen before, and they call it OLO. They stimulated cells of the retina with laser light to see colors beyond natural perceptions, and researchers call the hue unimaginably saturated and breathtaking. This is to open up new medical applications to understand better the basic functions of the cones in the retina. This is also a new starting point for treating color blindness, and all in all, an expansion of our color perception. Again, I know that people who are able to see the aura around someone, and they describe these iridescent colors as something that is not perceived in our 3D reality. and can be quite impressive. Also, in deep meditation or in ecstatic situations, this can occur. Maybe you would like to share in the comments if you have made experiences like that, and describe the phenomenon that you experienced. I would love to have a conversation with you about this. All in all, I would say science is now beginning to confirm what we can do naturally. Regarding colors and maybe otherworldly colors even, let's travel beneath the ancient Mexican pyramids for a moment. In the temple of Quetzalcoatl in Mexico, which is also called the Feathered Serpent Pyramid, and we are in the year of the wood snake. In the ancient city of Teotihuacan, they have found a tunnel system and caves, and also it was discovered already a couple of years ago. It's coming up now in our consciousness again, and therefore I include it in this report. They have found large researchers, archaeologists, scientists have found large quantities of mercury, liquid mercury, which is quite rare and toxic, in the hidden chambers at the end of a 338-foot-long tunnel. Liquid mercury shimmers and has reflective properties like water or a mirror. And here I would like to make the connection to Olo, because water always has been seen as a portal to either the underworld or the divine, and it is supposed to connect the living to supernatural realms. And by the way, I have released a meditation for the Taurus season a couple of days ago where you can experience exactly that. You will be guided to dive into a lake in order to connect with your Akashic records. And you might do you might want to do this meditation during the Mars-Pluto opposition. So while the discovery took place a decade ago, it went viral again, probably connected to the supposed findings under the Giza pyramid. And along with the pools of liquid mercury, researchers at the site also unearthed large sheets of mica, which is a shiny silicate mineral. And again, we have this image of very iridescent colors, and imagine if you are down there in the tunnels and meditating with the liquid mercury and the mica, how you will be transported into other realms of reality where obviously your perception has changed completely. Again, I could talk about this for hours. I'm leaving at this. If you want to continue the conversation, you know, I'm always happy to read your comments and I answer them all. Another interesting topic that I would like to talk with you, and now I'll take you into the galaxy and beyond. That's a new paper that came out. It needs yet to be peer-reviewed, and it explores the theory that the cosmos could be dominated by particles that move faster than the speed of light. Because this model of the universe agrees surprisingly well with observations, a pair of physicists have discovered that our universe is dominated by tachyons, a hypothetical kind of particle that always moves faster than light. From a scientific point of view, tachyons almost certainly don't exist, because going faster than light violates everything we know about the causal flow of time. in our linear perception, moving from past to future. The article says that the hypothetical particles are still interesting to physicists because of the small chance that even our most closely held notions like causality might be wrong. I don't think that causality is wrong per se. It is one of the axioms on which our world, or here on Earth, is based upon. If we are away from Earth, if we are out of our solar system, we are faced with other perception of the time-space continuum. I think that's all. But from our perspective, here on Earth, certainly faster than speed of light doesn't work. Outside Earth, I believe it is perfectly possible. I am not a physicist. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an astronomer. I'm a galactic astrologer, and I look at all of those phenomenons with curiosity and interest. And I like to keep an open mind on everything because from my sessions that I have conducted over the last years, more and more I understand that practically everything is possible, and we shouldn't exclude anything from our consciousness. Last but not least, UFOs. A Mexican photographer has taken stunning images of a UFO during a photo shoot, and he claims these images are real, they are not fake. And this is interesting to me. This is a quite a personal idea here. I have experienced last week while watching the sunset and on the lake, and above the trees suddenly a light appeared. It was comprising of 5 little dots of light, and they formed a circle. And this light was reflected in the water. The circle was perfectly still, not moving. And when I decided to take a picture and reached for my camera and looked back, it was gone. So I'm yet waiting for another UFO to show up so I can take a picture of it. And when I do, I will certainly share it with you. Until then, keep your eyes in the sky. If you do not watch a UFO, at least you can watch the stars and have a connection and communication with your star families. That is always a beautiful idea. And with that, I leave you for this week. I wish you all a very happy weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.